all agree that the biggest thing in the Idaho 4 case was the DNA. So let's talk about it. Just recently at CrimeCon 2025, we got more information about the DNA in the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. And we also got some information about how they led to Bryan Kohberger, and it's interesting. The person who worked with the DNA in the Idaho 4 case said this wasn't just trace DNA. It was high quality, and there was a lot of it. By Thanksgiving that year, the DNA was handed over to the FBI and scientists who specialized in genealogy and DNA evidence. They did their magic and they found a genealogy, familial, and DNA pointed to a multi-generational family in Pennsylvania. They further took that down and found out that it comes back to the family of Bryan Kohberger. The FBI sent that DNA to the Moscow Police Department on December 19th. The FBI explained, this is just a tip, go look into it, see if this helps. Now, I've talked about this. What should happen is they take that DNA and they help to try to match what they already had to the person. That didn't really happen. They kind of took that DNA, said this is our person, and then they just shoved everything else to make it fit. It's sad, but it happens. Either way, came back to Bryan Kohberger. And Bryan Kohberger's DNA did match to that kitchen utensil case that was found literally under Maddie Mogen. I think one thing is very important in this, and that is that the way they found this was illegal. The FBI admittedly used genealogy databases that were supposed to be illegal. Things like GED Match and MyHeritage. These sites were meant to help people with family heritage, finding loved ones, finding their past. They are not supposed to be used for FBI finding criminals. It was very illegal, but they did it anyway. And here we are, they found Kohberger. It's also good for me to point out in this DNA video that the DNA on that case was not the only DNA found in that house. We are led to believe that it was the only DNA, but it wasn't. There was a small amount of DNA in red that went from the bottom floor to the second floors. On that handrail, there was DNA mixed with red. This was unidentified male B. This sample was never put into CODIS and it was never tested. Why? I can hypothesize because they already were set on Kohberger, and they were already set on the DNA that was on the case and didn't even test it. We are led to believe that they only had a little bit of stuff that they could test, or they didn't have enough resources to test. I don't know, but they didn't test it. It could have been because it was tiny and it was degraded and there wasn't enough to test, but I don't know why they just wouldn't say that. I mean, this unidentified male B could be nothing. It could be touch DNA that happened to have red on it. I don't know why it would in the given place that it was, but let's just say that it was completely irrelevant. You still sort of tested it. Another piece of DNA that didn't get tested was the DNA that was in the glove found outside. This was like a penguin glove found outside. It wasn't like a rubber glove that we think. It was more of a winter glove. There was red inside of it all over. They didn't test that either. I mean, it really would have been helpful to at least know. But we do know that Kohberger's DNA was in that house, on that case. Other than that, everything is completely up in the air as far as DNA, because that's the only thing they tested. I think all of this is why people formulate an opinion that it was someone else or it was multiple people or something like that, is because you have the evidence right there. Just test it. Just test it and put people's opinions to rest. It should have been done already. So that's what I have on the DNA for this case. Please be respectful in the comments. Please be respectful to me, who is just a girl on the internet. I don't have a law degree. I don't have a degree in forensics. It's just me. I'm just interested. So be kind. Be kind to each other. And be kind to these victims, please. I will delete you. Just saying. Tomorrow's episode is the wrap up of where do we go from here. And we kind of have a wrap up of the whole case, and we kind of discuss what happens now, and we'll go from there. So please join me tomorrow. Click that follow button, and I'll see you tomorrow.